In this section, we learn about routing and route parameters in great detail. Now, before proceeding further, let's try to understand how a route is picked up in ASP.NET Core application. And this is very important to understand when you have defined routes with same kind of pattern. So what will happen if an incoming URL matches with more than one route? In that case, which route will be picked up by ASP.NET Core application? This is what we are going to answer in this lecture. Now keep in mind that in ASP.NET Core applications, picking up a route does not depend on the order in which they are defined. It depends on the certain route precedence rules. And in this lecture, we are going to talk about those rules. Mainly, an ASP.NET Core application follows 4 route precedence rules. Let's try to understand it one by one. So the first rule is URL template with most segments will have higher precedence. Now let's try to understand this with an example. So let's say the URL looks something like this. So it is /book/category/author/bookid. And we have 2 routes defined. The first route pattern is /book/category/author, and second route pattern is /book/category/author/bookid. Now this URL exactly matches this route pattern, right? So in this case, this route will be called. But let's say if the URL is /book/category/author, in that case, this URL exactly matches this URL pattern. So in this case, the first route will be picked. Now this first rule is very simple rule. Whichever route pattern exactly matches the URL, that will be called. Now the second rule is URL template with literal text has more precedence than the one with the route parameter. For example, here we have 2 routes defined. In the first route, we have /book/category and then the author route parameter. In the second URL, we have /book/category and a author name, Steve Smith. So here we don't have a route parameter, it is a literal text. So in the URL, when we type /books/category/Steve Smith, in this case, both of these 2 route patterns matches this URL, right? Because this author route parameter, it can be assigned with this Steve Smith value. So both of these route patterns matches this URL. But in this case, where we are specifying the literal text, the author name, this will get precedence over this first route. So basically, this URL exactly matches this route pattern. So in this case, again, this route will be picked. But if we say /book/category/ some other author name, maybe Mike Lemon, in that case, this URL does not match this route pattern. Because in this route pattern, after categories, we have this literal text Steve Smith. And here we have Mike Lemon. So this does not match. So in this case, this first route will be picked. And this author route parameter, it will be assigned with Mike Lemon. Then the third rule is URL template that has a route parameter with a constraint has more precedence than the route parameter without constraint. So if you notice, here we have defined 2 routes. In the first route, the route pattern is /book/category/bookid, which is a route parameter. In the second route, we are specifying /book/category/bookid, which is a route parameter. But on this route parameter, we are also specifying a constraint that this should be an integer value. Okay, so let's say the URL looks something like this. So it is /books/category/10. So here, this 10 is an integer value. So in this case, this second route will be picked up because in the second route on this book ID route parameter, we are specifying the route constraint as int. So this will get more preference over the first route. And in this case, this second route will be picked. But if the URL is /book/category/John, that means here we are not specifying any integer value. Here we are specifying a string value. In this case, this route pattern will not match because here for the book ID, we have specified the constraint that it should be an integer value. So this route pattern will not match. So in this case, the first route will be called. Let's actually see this in action. Okay, so here I have defined 2 routes. The first route is /book/category/bookid. Book ID is a route parameter here, but here I have not defined any constraint on this book ID. And the second route is /book/category and then /bookid. Again, this book ID is a route parameter, but on this I'm using this integer constraint. And then in the response, we are simply specifying which route has been called. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me run this application. and then here let's say localhost slash books slash category slash 10. If I press enter, let me increase the font size here. So you can see this route has been called here. So the route in which we are specifying a constraint on the book ID route parameter, that has been called here. But instead of integer value here, if I specify some string value, maybe John, in that case, that route has been called, where on the route parameter we are not specifying any route constraint. If I specify 20 here, you see this route has been called. So basically this URL which we are passing, it matches both of these two routes. But since we are passing an integer value in the route, this one matches more precisely than this one, right? Because for this book ID, we can accept any value. We can accept a string value, Boolean value, integer value, right? But here we are specifying that for this book ID route parameter, we are only going to accept integer value. That's why in the URL, when we are specifying an integer value for the book ID, this one is getting called because it matches more precisely. If we are specifying a string value, this one is getting ignored because for the book ID, we are only expecting integer value. So when we are passing a string value for the book ID in the URL, this route matches more precisely. And that's why in that case, this route is getting called. I hope I'm clear. The fourth and final route selection rule is catch all parameters has the least preference. Now what is a catch all parameter? Well, if you see here, we are defining two routes. In the first route, we have slash post slash this slug route parameter. And before this slug route parameter, we are specifying this asterisk. That means this slug route parameter is a catch all parameter. In the second route, we have slash post slash slug. In this case, this slug is not a catch all parameter. In the first example, this slug here is a catch all parameter. And what catch all parameter simply means is, so in this example, this route will be served for all those URLs which starts with slash post. So any URL you type in the URL bar, if it contains slash post slash, and then no matter what it contains after that, this route will serve that URL. But that is not the case in the second route. Here, slash post slash, you can pass any value for this slug. So it will only serve those URLs which has slash post slash some value. After that some value, if you are specifying any other value, in that case, this route will not be picked. In that case, this catch all route will be picked. So for example, here, if the URL is let's say slash post slash routing in ASP.NET Core, here, this URL matches both this first route and this second route. But since this first route is a catch all parameter route, it will have least preference. So in this case, this second route will be picked. But if the URL is let's say slash post slash routing in ASP.NET Core slash routing basics, in that case, this URL does not match this route pattern, because in this route pattern, we are only expecting two values, slash post slash some route parameter. But here we have slash post slash first route parameter slash second route parameter. So this route pattern is not going to match this URL. So in this case, this first route pattern will be called, because as I mentioned, since this is a catch all parameter route, it will serve any URL which starts with slash post. So this URL starts with slash post. So this route will serve that URL. Alright, so this is all about the rules by which an ASP.NET Core application selects a route. And I wanted to cover this in this lecture because I want you to understand how a route is picked up, so that when you're going to create a route, you should know what is happening. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.